So this is showing just a representative breakdown of bone. You would have the outer layer here, the periosteum, and then you have the compact bone. Remember, the compact bone is always going to be on the superficial side of the bone, and then interior would be the spongy bone, which is what is seen right here on the end. With the bone, it has to have a very extensive blood supply because it's very actively growing. It's responding to stresses, and that's constantly changing. So some bones being built up with the matrix, others it's breaking down the matrix. And so it has to have that good blood supply. As you can see over here, you do have coming from the exterior blood supply in, coming at a perpendicular angle, and then you do have these canals here, and if you can see on the front, through each one of these canals, you do have blood vessels to supply the cells in here. Now you can see in here the dark spots are representing some of the cells that are actively laying down the bone matrix and then also breaking up the bone matrix. But you can see what the classic structure here of compact bone, the osteon, which looks like those little circles with that central canal in it. And if you notice on this drawn here, to give the bone strength, notice that the fibers are going in opposite directions for each layer. That gives a lot of strength so that the bone can withstand a lot of different pressure. Now, like I say, the entire bone on your larger bones cannot be all compact bone because they weigh too much. So to make it weigh less, the interior portion, as I said, is going to be your spongy bone, which has a lot of the trabeculae, and it looks like scaffolding. And in between the spaces, it literally looks like a sponge. You have your blood supply there to provide the nutrients. Now this is a long bone, which is very interesting to see. On the outer surface is the compact bone, but in the middle, inside here on the ends, this is where the bone would be actively growing. But you can definitely tell where it gets its name as a spongy bone. Now in long bones, certainly in adults, in the middle we do have the medullary cavity. You do have blood supply in there. You do also have marrow that is present in there. The bone is growing on the ends, moving further away from the central portion here. Now the bone will, as I said earlier, will respond to different stresses. So if you get a lot of stress, say right here, you would start to build up more bone matrix here and typically pull away from this side. So it's constantly responding to our stress. This is very actively growing tissue, and I just thought this is a good representation of seeing that open spongy bone.